Hey, what's up guys, it's Red here with another Chainsaw Man video. This one was voted by you, all about Nostradamus' prophecy. If you want to vote for my next video, go to my community tab and check out my post. I don't know which one's winning right now because I haven't posted the poll by the time I'm writing and recording. Anyways, if you have any comments, leave them down below. If you want to recommend any vids for me to make, leave it down in the comments of that poll. Also, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Help me get to 800 if I haven't gotten to it yet, and many more. I'm actually aiming to get more than 1K soon, so please help me out. And if you want to help out a little bit more, check out my Ko-Fi. Any little bit helps. And your message will be shown and read at the end of these videos. Link in the description and on screen. So anyways, let's just get into it. Michel de Nostradamus. I actually kind of wanted to make this video a bit more educational, so this section is not really Chainsaw Man related, so skip to the next chapter if you don't want to hear this. So let's start off with a little history lesson. Michel de Nostradamus, more commonly known as Nostradamus, was a French physician, apothecary, astrologer, and most importantly, an oracle. His prophecies were compiled into a book called Les Prophéties, which is just the prophecies in English, which the first edition released in 1555. And yes, I mean first edition. There's like over 200 versions apparently, and the second one was even released within the same year, just with some minor edits. But it makes sense as Nostradamus was still alive and continued to make more prophecies. But the third edition was the last one made when he was still alive, though the fourth edition, which came out 2 years after he died, finished off the last of Nostradamus' prophecies. So any additional prophecies were not the work of Nostradamus. The impact of these prophecies affected the entire world, such as allegedly predicting a bunch of tragedies like 9/11, the rise of Adolf H., the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and many, many more. But were they any true? No. Yeah, a lot of his prophecies just weren't true, and a lot of them are made up by different people, such as fabrications made by the Germans in World War II that told about the fall of France, which the Germans dropped over France for fear-mongering. Also, there was one about the Antichrist being named Mabus, which just wasn't true. The prophecy talking about Mabus was just about something else. Like, people tried to connect the name Mabus with other people's names like Obama, Bush Jr., Osama bin Laden, and Saddam Hussein. And those people who tried to connect the names said that they were the Antichrist. And yeah, I know it's hilarious, but it's just false. Like I said, the prophecy was just about something else. And the fact that the real Antichrist are Trump, Elon, and Mr. Beast. And no, I won't elaborate. Go do your own research, liberal. But whatever. One of the biggest hoax was about the 9/11 attacks. As the prophecy was, in the city of God, there will be a great thunder, two brothers torn apart by chaos. While the fortress endures, the great leader will succumb. The third big war will begin when the big city is burning. And yeah, that sounds pretty accurate to what happened, but this was just not real. It was written in 1997 by Neil Marshall, a Canadian grad student, for a research paper about how prophecies are just made to be super broad so that it will eventually fit into something else and they should not be trusted. Especially since many of the actual prophecies that Nostradamus made were often mistranslated or misinterpreted, which are, sometimes on purpose. Anyways, to get to the point is that Nostradamus just made broad statements that would eventually fit into an event, or that other people just completely changed the prophecy from the original one that Nostradamus made. So how does this connect with Chainsaw Man? Well, the prophecy in Chainsaw Man was actually one of the real prophecies made by Nostradamus, which was that the year 1999, 7 months, from the sky will come a great king of terror to bring back the life of the great king Anglomoise, before after Mars to reign by good fortune, which was also mistranslated and misinterpreted as of terror, or de effrayer, was just not there in the original prophecy. So even in Chainsaw Man, it's not the actual real one. But whatever, history lesson over, time for the real Chainsaw Man stuff. The Great King of Terror, Death. So, the only part of the prophecy stated in Chainsaw Man was In the 7th month of 1999, a great king of terror will descend. So it wasn't the full Nostradamus prophecy, which I'll get into later with some theories. So what do we know about the prophecy in Chainsaw Man? Well, apparently it's happening in like a month in the Chainsaw Man world, meaning that it's June in Chainsaw Man. So a lot of people have been confused, like, how did time skip? Did the recent chapter just skip time? Well, I have some explanations. Some are that falling and aging just kind of messed with time. I mean, gravity affects time in some way, so that's a chance. And, you know, the literal embodiment of aging appeared so that time could have been messed up when it used its abilities. But in my opinion, the time skip happened when Denji got rescued from the public safety facility. Well, more like it happened before Asa and Fami saved Denji, which again doesn't fully explain the time discrepancy, but who cares? So the last thing that we know of is that the Great King will be the Death Devil. Yep, she's gonna come in and kill a bunch of people. And Fami thinks that her sister, Yoru, and Chainsaw Man are the only ones who could stop death. And a signal from the end times is the fact that very powerful devils will show up on Earth. And they have, like, the 4 Horsemen, well, 3 out of the 4 Horsemen to be exact, Pochita, and 2 primal devils falling and aging. And those 2 primals were summoned by people who wanted to prevent the descent of death. So it leads me to believe that the prophecy of Nostradamus is a self-fulfilling one, as no matter what anyone tries to do to stop it, the descent of death will always be the outcome. In fact, public safety and the Chainsaw Man Church are making the prophecy happen with just how they're trying to stop it. But in the end, death will come for us all. Theories on the prophecy. So here are some of my theories. I'd also like for you guys to leave some of your own theories down below. I'd love to read them. Anyways, I'm starting with something crazy, which is that the prophecy is just the beginning, as the 4 Horsemen come from the Book of Revelation, which I actually talked about in my Chainsaw Man Horsemen video, so go check it out after this one. So using the Book of Revelation as an inspiration, in the book there were 7 seals which brought the apocalypse, and when the Death Devil comes in July, that would only be the 4th seal, as the 4 Horsemen were the first part of the end times. And this is to say, by the end of the 7th seal, nothing will be left. And in Revelation, it said that there was going to be a fight between God and the demons of hell. And at the end of it all, a new heaven and earth will take the place of the old heaven and earth. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. So if we were to interpret it in Chainsaw Man, I believe at the end of the destruction, the world and universe will reset and a new cycle will continue. Perhaps it will just repeat all of history in Chainsaw Man, meaning that it's all a loop, and the fake Chainsaw Man could probably be the real Chainsaw Man from the previous cycle who was brought over to the new cycle. Or everything will just be a bit different than the OG world. But that's a bit too grandiose and far and could easily be wrong. So let's just go to my theories on who the Great King of Terror is. Well, it's the Death Devil, right? Well, I believe there's a chance that the Death Devil is a misdirection, and that the Great King is actually someone else. So I'll go from the one I believe the least to the one I believe the most, starting with Pochita being the Great King. I'm just saying this because from the Jump Fiesta we got when the Reze movie trailer released, Fujimoto confirmed that the Devil Devil exists. So maybe Pochita is the Devil Devil, and that's why he has those abilities to erase devils from existence. Or maybe that the Devil Devil is just another entity and the real King of Terror, and Pochita will consume the Devil Devil to erase all of devils from existing. But again, that's a bit too far-fetched and I don't really know. So my second option is that Fami will be the real main villain. Like, come on. I made a whole video on this, links in the cards and the description. Fami just feels like she's blatantly letting it all happen. And she probably just wants to defeat death so that she could be the real King of Terror. Like, did you guys read the previous chapter, 194? Why is she just not caring about the prophecy taking place in the month? In my opinion, she's just using the school festival as an excuse to not help out Yoshida and Fumiko. I believe that the school festival is a front for her to do some evil plans. Kinda like how the Chainsaw Man Church performed those marriage rituals so that people could be contacted with the quote-unquote Justice Devil, who was actually the Fire Devil. I think that something crazy is gonna happen in the school festival thanks to Fami. And maybe it will be the place where the Death Devil descends on Earth. So anyways, let's go on to the third option of the true King of Terror. Yoru, the War Devil. So why do I think that? Well, the quote-unquote original prophecy from Nostradamus was that the year 1999, 7 months, from the sky will come a great king of terror to bring back to life the great king Anglo-Moise. Before after, Mars to reign by good fortune. So the part I'm going to be skipping over that's not really applicable to Chainsaw Man is the great king Anglo-Moise. And I don't really care about that. But I really care about the final part. Mars will reign by good fortune. Mars. Do you guys know who Mars is? That's the literal Roman god of war. The full prophecy states that war will rule. As in, the war devil will rule by good fortune. Yoru will be the real big bad in Chainsaw Man. I think that Yoru will fully regain her old strength and gain even more strength afterwards. Yoru will get rid of Asa, which would mean that Asa is dead. But the Death Devil will join the good guys, revive Asa because she's death and she probably could revive the dead. Or that Death will inhabit Asa's body and bring back Asa to life. And that the Death Devil and Asa will have a similar situation to like how Yoru and Asa currently have. Boom! Asa and Death will share a body, and Denji and Pochita will help defeat the really overpowered War Devil Yoru, with Fami probably trying to control of Yoru, and yada yada yada. Both Yoru and Fami will die. They get reincarnated, and Asa with Death and Denji with Pochita will adopt and raise the new War and Famine Devils, and probably the new Control Devil as well. Or maybe Nayuta is revived. And they'll become one big happy family. The end. Yep, that's all. I practically predicted the real ending of Chainsaw Man. Sorry for the spoilers. Anyways, leave in the comments down below any theories that you have about the prophecy. And make sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. I really want to get to 1K and many more subs. Check out my Ko-Fi if you really want to help me out. And stay tuned for more videos. The next one will probably be the winner of the poll that's currently up, aka the most recent poll, so go check out my community tab to vote. So thanks for watching.